Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It's your guy Boulanger. Up next in this video, we're going to be talking about Todd Monken's pursuit to lighten Lamar Jackson's workload offensively. Do me a quick favor, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get updates when we upload new content. Let's go. So, I ran across an article about Todd Monken. I'm not sure if it was an interview or just somebody having a conversation with Monken, but it was specifically about Lamar Jackson and lightening his load offensively. And from the article, one thing that was clear, it is certainly Todd Monken's intent to do just that, to um, take some of that burden off of Lamar Jackson. Matter of fact, the way it reads, that he wants to take a lot of the burden off Lamar Jackson. And I think that there's two ways that they can do that. And I believe Todd Monken exemplifies that with some quotes that you will see in the top left hand corner. I think the first way to do that is to improve talent. And the Baltimore Ravens have certainly done that in this 2023 offseason. Signing Odell Beckham, of course, we understand what he can bring to the table if healthy. Drafting Zay Flowers and also bringing in Nelson Aguilar. This certainly added to Bateman and Duvernay primarily makes the best receiving corps Lamar Jackson has ever played with as it pertains to talent on the team. Okay. And so I think that when you have those kind of playmakers, Lamar Jackson can do less. And that's not to forget about the running backs. You know, when you have JK who can run it and catch it, you have Gus who can also run it and catch it. And then I'm keeping my eye on Mitchell. Not that I'm overlooking Justice Hill, but I'm keeping my eye on Mitchell. I like what I see and what I hear about him. He has great speed and great explosiveness. And so I'm looking at him, you know, to see what he can bring if he makes this team. And so I think that they've certainly upgraded the talent base around Lamar Jackson. And so I think that's the first way. And I think the second way is schematics. Having an offensive scheme that gets the ball out of his hands quicker, right? You know, there was times under the Greg Roman system. This is not knocking Greg Roman. They did some great things under him, broke a lot of records with Greg Roman as the OC. But I think that there was a lot of times where Lamar Jackson was trying to look down the field and wait for somebody to get open because a lot of the routes were deeper routes and guys had to uncover. And so I think that in a Todd Monken system, I think that ball will come out a lot quicker. I think the routes will be simpler uh, um, and designed for the wide receiver to get open. The Baltimore Ravens rarely ever schemed a wide receiver open, and I think that that was a mistake. Under that Greg Roman system, so I'm super excited to hear what Todd Monken is saying. And so, in one quote from Todd Monken, you know, he did talk about, you know, the more talent you have around your quarterback, you know, the better results you're going to have. The lighter his load is. You know, if you can get the ball out of your hands in 2 seconds to Zay Flowers and he take it for 15 yards, or hey, with his explosion to take it the distance. And, you know, we seen Rashad Bateman's explosiveness where he had two 50 plus yard touchdowns last season. We understand what Odell Beckham can do, intermediate and deep routes, and so I think being able to get that ball into those guys' hands will certainly um, relieve some of that offensive pressure. You know, because there was a time, man, where it was, in order to be offensively successful, it was Lamar Jackson all the time. Lamar Jackson running the ball, Lamar Jackson passing the ball, and and uh, and I really believe that it was Lamar Jackson who made the run game, you know, due to the scheme that they were in. And so I think this is an opportunity, man, for Lamar to take less hits, to be fresher when they get midway to the season. There is a statistic out there that he had taken 1,000 hits up until this point in his career. That's a lot of hits for a running back, but that's certainly a lot of hits for a quarterback. So I'm glad to hear that. And then another quote that I'm going to put up in the left hand corner is Todd Monken acknowledging that as a player gets older, you know, you have to lighten that burden, right? And so, but he does acknowledge that Lamar Jackson has a unique skill set with his feet that he doesn't want to ignore or leave out of the game plan. And so I mentioned when I did projections for Lamar Jackson in the expectation video, you know, I projected he has about 90 carries. It may be more, around 100, including scrambles, but I think he has 90 carries. I think he only has maybe 3 called run plays per game versus, some of the ones that we've seen before, 9 and 10 run plays for Lamar Jackson. I would love to see him scramble more, right? Because I think that as that defense is spread out, because now you got guys you have to honor as that defense is spread out, you're going to see running lanes open up even more in the middle. And so I'm super okay with Lamar taking off, getting 10, 12 yards and sliding and living to see another play, or taking off and then getting towards the sidelines and run out of bounds safely. And so I think we certainly will see a lot more of that. And so I think that now this may sound crazy, but I think that um, lightening Lamar Jackson's burden offensively could in fact make him more dangerous. You know, you always want your playmaker to have the ball in his hands because he's the playmaker, and Lamar Jackson has been that for the Baltimore Ravens. But the reason why I say it makes him more dangerous, one, he's going to be fresher per game, where he's not taking 10, 12 hits per game because he's trying to run the ball. But it's going to make him more dangerous simply because we've never seen him with weapons like this, right? Teams aren't going to know how to game plan for at least the first 6, 7, 8 games when they try to catch up with the scheme. And so I think it makes the offensive potency much higher. And then another thing that makes Lamar Jackson more dangerous is that um, we know that he can be accurate, right? And so as guys uncover, his decision making will become more quick. So you take a fast offense. Think about this. Lamar Jackson is fast, runs under a 4.40. Okay, Zay Flowers is fast. He runs a low 4.40. Bate is fast. He runs under a 4.40. Duvernay is fast, runs under a 4.40. I don't know where Odell Beckham's speed is at this point, but he used to be a really fast player. Nelson Aguilar runs under 4.40. At least he did at the combine. So you got this fast offense, plus Andrews, plus Likely, plus the running backs. So now you got all these weapons that's fast. So imagine how much more dangerous it is to scheme against Lamar Jackson and this Ravens offense, because you don't know who's going to get the ball, and then you don't know if Lamar just takes off and hits the hole and takes it 30 or 40 yards. And so because the offense is more unpredictable, because remember there was a time where Lamar Jackson said the defense knew the plays. And so I think that what I'm hearing from Todd Monken, having these weapons, making the offense more diverse, makes the Ravens offense more dangerous, and I think it raises uh, Lamar Jackson's scarability. That's not a real word; I just made that up. But meaning, when teams have the game plan for the Baltimore Ravens, they were already nervous when they had the game plan for Lamar Jackson. But imagine Lamar Jackson with weapons, and those guys are healthy. Mm-mm. It's gonna be scary hours in the league. That's a quote from James Harden when he and KD and Kyrie got together in Brooklyn for like 3 minutes. That's about how long that lasted. And he was right. When they were on the court together, it was scary hours for the league. I mean, they were super efficient, super dangerous. And I think that same thing is going to be true for the Baltimore Ravens offense. If we can make it to the season healthy, oh my gosh. I mean, just think about the weaponry. And that's not even scheming for a guy like Likely, right? Who can get on the field in a two tight end set and get open. So man, um, it's gonna be super exciting, man, to see this offense. I can't wait to see some stuff coming out of training camp about who's balling out and who's impressing. Listen, I'm your guy Boulanger. Let me know what you want me to know from the Todd Monken quotes. This is the GM, and I'm out.